Commission has sent a 9-page letter. I don't know if it has reached you or not, but of course, with the advance of media, a lot of these letters are seen by the media and the public before it even gets to the recipient. So that may be inconsequential. But suffice it to say, the NDC Electoral Commission is saying your request for an audit will not happen in the sense that you want it to. However, there will be an exhibition that will be done virtually for everybody to do. And there's also going to be an IPAC meeting coming up soon. What do you make of the responses from the EC?
Sandra, let me say good evening to your cherished listeners. And then Dr. Bosman, let me say good evening to him. We have received their response. We have studied in critically. It borders on two issues, one being technical and the other being on policy direction. I'll talk on the technical issues in their letter, but the policy one, I'll leave that one to, I'll defer that one to my boss, the national chairman, the general secretary, and then Dr. Mani Boamama. They are my bosses to deal with the policy aspect. One, let's look at it critically. They talked about having corrected the register and responded to some of the issues that we identified and that they have worked on them. Let's take, for instance, the page 5 of their response, where they talked about the 243,000 that they inadvertently added to the current transfer data. Under, all along, is it not the same Electoral Commission and NPP which held press conferences and said we have not presented any evidence to them? We have not brought our evidence to them for them to work on. So where did they get this one to correct? Where did they get the 243,000? How did they correct that? And how did they know that this is the total number that actually they added? If we hadn't seen this, if we hadn't tracked down this illegal, don't forget, the Director of Electoral Services, I was with him on one of your sister stations, that is PM Express, where he told us point blank that they deliberately added those figures for us to track transfer history. I disputed it there. Today, in their own document, they've run away from the deliberate and they are now using inadvertently. You see, so these things that they are doing are even deepening the cracks between the NDC and the EC. That we are suspecting that it was done somehow to manipulate the data. And we're expecting that if you have a robot ICT sector or department that could not be able to track this and allow this inadvertent adding of all data to bloat the register, then you don't have an ICT department. Somebody somewhere is not doing his work well. Sanda, in the same vein, they mention of 38 illegal transfers. Who told them it's 38 illegal transfers? You see, what I've realized is that the Electoral Commission, as of now, is doing some firefighting. When the NDC comes out with something, then they will run after it. And then when they go after it, then they make press release or press conference on that issue. Without bothering to go around the whole data to see whether we have similar issues happening in other constituencies or districts. As we speak now, the same issue, the same modus operandi they use for the Tamale South, Sanaru, and push them to Pusiga, it's appearing in Asunafa South and Asutifi in Ahafo. It appeared in Tolong again. We uncovered similar modus operandi. It appeared in Volta region, where people's data were just transferred illegally without their knowledge. And so when we gave them a teaser of the 38 in Tamale, they quickly ran after it and they put it in there. They've not even taken their time to go through the whole system to find out whether similar thing happened. This is the issue we are talking about. And so we should stop doing firefighting and rather let us sit down, do this forensic thing, and then clearly to track down all those illegal guys, those crooks who went into their system and manipulated the data without their knowledge. It appeared that the Commission seems not to understand this thing very well.
Now, the ultimate aim of your call is for the register to be clean. The Electoral Commission insisted that the cleaning of the register is a self-healing process in what they call the exhibition. Now they plan to do the exhibition electronically so that people would manage to verify their details before the election. They've said that the reason is that there is no time for them to do the printing of all the registers to be able to exhibit them in the 40,000 centers and all of that thing. So they're going to go virtual. What do you make of that decision?
Sandra, this is a policy issue. And I will not comment on it. Will allow my bosses to come out with a policy, of which they are still working on that one. Because that was one of the major calls we made about re-exhibition. Initially, their own director of elections said they were not going to do any exhibition again. They won't do any re-exhibition. He was emphatic on it.
Yeah,
so
but now they have met you halfway.
Good. That's why I'm saying that I leave that one today to my bosses to deal with that one.
Okay.
And then we can move on from that direction. Whatever they come out from it, we will go. We are looking at the technical aspect. But you see, Sandra, the whole issue about this register is that somebody is manipulating the data. And you see that, read all the 9-page document. You will see that they are silent on CI 127. You will see that they've not mentioned 127 a bit. Do you know that transfers has nothing to do with CI 91? All these problems we are talking about, it has nothing to do with CI 91. In their 9-page document, they are rather referring to CI 91. And talking of CI, quoting copiously about the exhibition process and all. CI 127 is where transfers are, where the issue of transfers and the modus operandi that they use in that one. They are silent about it. They refuse to talk about it. Because that is where the illegality is. That is where we are talking of liveliness tech. If you don't appear before a returning officer, you cannot be transferred. We don't do transfer in absentia. How come electoral officers are doing transfers in absentia? And nobody is quoting about that one. Nobody is talking about it. And putting them on strict proof that you cannot do transfer when you don't appear before a returning officer. Why is it that they have not interdicted the returning officer of Pusiga, but rather they had to go for the ultimate, the director himself? Is it the director who did the transfer? That is what we are looking at.
Very well. Wait for your official position on the response from the EC. But thank you for speaking to us.
I'm grateful.
That's Dr. Rashid Tanko, Computer, Deputy Director of Elections, the National Democratic Congress.